Hey, how's it going, guys? ZDEyE here. So we finally got an opportunity of seeing Game Awards of 2021. So first of all, what did you guys think of the show overall itself? To be honest with you, the pacing of the show was pretty bad, unfortunately. We've gotten plenty of advertisings and these kind of marketings and setups. It's just overstayed its welcome a little too long. Every so often, just these about, I'm not too sure, 10 to 15 minutes breaks. Like, if you can call them breaks, right? We've seen these shows that was just unnecessary completely. A little bit too long, in my opinion. Imagine if you cut out those parts. Imagine if you cut out some of the insignificant, parts in the Game Awards. Like, at first it just ended up being a little longer than 3-hour show. But instead it could have been something shorter. Well, anyway, I actually think that the Game Awards seriously needs to, start up with their shows a little earlier in time as well. Guys, such as myself in Europe, we literally had to stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning just to start watching the show. So by the time it ended, it was already after 5 o'clock in the morning. And stupid me, because, well, I appreciate this show, because I tend to stay up quite often, quite late anyway, so it was not a problem for me to stay up extra few hours. But if the game show or the Game Awards isn't gonna be really worth it, you just feel like, well, great, I should have been asleep instead, but instead I was quite disappointed. In this case, what we've gotten here, it's not to say that I was disappointed with all the reveals that have been showcased at the Game Awards of 2021. In fact, there were few instances that I definitely want to touch on, few of the games that definitely piqued my interest. You know what? Enough with the rambling, enough with the negativity. Let's get into the good parts of the Game Awards, what we've got an opportunity of seeing for the first time, and many more things to, of course, to include. So, Hellblade 2 first gameplay. Its presentation, beauty, definitely resembles of Naughty Dog titles. This is a very big contender of being, for me, to purchase an Xbox console to experience this game. And it looks really good. Of course, it unfortunately didn't show us too much about its combat gameplay, if there's going to be much of a difference compared to the first, Hellblade. But in this case, the large scope, the beauty, the sound design, visuals, it is simply incredible. Okay, so unfortunately we do not have the release date. I assume will most likely be coming out in 2023. Ninja Theory still needs a little more time to polish up the game, to develop the game and all that good stuff, of course. But we'll have to wait and see. Okay, so next game was another a little bit of a surprise, perhaps for me it was anyway. I'm talking about Star Wars Eclipse. It has been a very first reveal trailer, actually being developed by Quantic Dream. Now, to be honest with you, I'm not that looking forward to it. One reason is because of the developers. Quantic Dreams are known for creating games that are driven narratively with storytelling, right? So basically you have choices that you can make, negative, positives, and many more, right? And I'm not really a fan of their games, because technically they're not really games, they're more like interactive movies. But, it depends how they're going to go about with the Star Wars. I really don't think they're going to go with more or less of an action adventure. But either way, I am still curious, but I'm not holding my breath. Next up, I definitely want to touch on this game, and actually it was a big surprise. I never have expected this. Wonder Woman. But unfortunately we only got a teaser, and in fact it was a CGI teaser as well. Coming actually from the team behind Middle-earth, Shadow Mordor, and Shadow War. It's pretty damn incredible. Like, we knew that they were working on something since the last game that they released, was it 2017, right? Shadow of War that came out, I believe so. And of course, including the DLCs. So it would have been, the development of this Wonder Woman has been a little while already, hasn't it? Like maybe 3 to 2 years or something. And of course, since this is a teaser, CGI mind you, yeah, you will have to wait a little longer than expected for this game to come out. I really wonder how Wonder Woman will differentiate compared to from Middle-earth Shadow War, how much of a difference there will be, and if it's going to be something similarities, or at least will have a resemblance to its similarities, I will be very happy. I think Wonder Woman, with her powers and her capabilities, really would work in such a way as the combat has been portrayed in Middle-earth Shadow War. It's going to be very interesting. Before I do continue, guys, I want to mention something. Yes, you perhaps already might have noticed, I skipped on a few games. I did this on purpose because, well, I was not really particularly interested in those auto titles. Now, a few auto titles such as the movies, TV shows, I'm not going to be mentioning them either. For example, Matrix, and also I'm talking about Matrix Resurrections, and I'm also talking about the TV show of the Halo. I definitely am looking forward to those though, just so you know. But next up, I was very surprised, never expected this. I'm talking about Alan Wake 2 reveal trailer. Unfortunately, it wasn't really an in-game trailer, but first Alan Wake we got was more than 10 years ago, and finally we received Alan Wake remastered, and of course a lot of us got an opportunity of trying it out. I did not yet, but I'm very much considering of trying it out. Horizon Forbidden West gameplay trailer looks fantastic. I cannot wait for its release, and man, I'm deep dive into it. So, Destiny 2 Witch Queen live action trailer unfortunately didn't really portray properly of the gameplay of itself, but again, if it's a live action, it will look always good. And everything that I've seen here from Destiny 2 Witch Queen, it looks really good. But that's all I gotta say. Next up, it was Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. This time, finally showcased gameplay, well, to a certain degree. Unfortunately, it wasn't like a proper overview of the raw gameplay, but I was glad to see a snippet of gameplay, and mind you, I'm actually a little more excited for the game now than I ever was. The very first teaser, or more or less of a CGI, that the Suicide Squad got, it was not that appealing. Next time it received an in-game trailer, was not gameplay though, but it just looked like any other trailer of Suicide Squad. It looks like crazy as hell, but it looks good. But I was not really excited. But this time we've got an opportunity of snippets of raw gameplay. Of course, it wasn't exactly a true raw gameplay, but it definitely looked very good. Next up, Forspoken, story trailer with its finally first release date in May of 2022. I cannot wait for this game. Seems like the story is going to be taking a front seat, and I really am hoping that it's not going to take a back seat, because I really want my games to have its gameplay and its story making its main tradition, right? I don't want just to experience the game and the world just simply by gameplay alone, right? There's a lot of games already have like that, and unfortunately it's just that the story takes a backseat. I don't want that. In this case, it seems like the story and the gameplay are going to be front elements. After so, we've got a Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. Now this was unexpected. At first, when I actually have experienced Space Marine, I think it was like almost a decade ago, right? The first game that came out. I might be wrong about that. I've actually played with my friend, and I've got an opportunity of realizing what it was. But I also, when seeing snippets of clips of gameplay, my god, it looks good. I am very much interested. I definitely want to see more, but so far it got me curious. Saints Row got its more trailer, more or less, basically, and well, as you know, it's crazy. It's Saints Row, more Saints Row. From its delay from February to all the way to August, kind of expected delay, but more time to polish is always good. At least for me, I'm definitely much looking forward to this Saints Row game. A Plague Tale Requiem, or Requiem, I believe that's how you pronounce it, gameplay this time, presentation, and it looks fantastic. Unfortunately, we didn't get a proper raw gameplay look, but we do know how the first game turned out to be, and we already know that this game will be something special. Hopefully they will be able to cope up towards as the first game was, and hopefully it may go even further than that and actually explore the unexplored. Dying Light 2 cinematic trailer. At first I actually looked at it, I thought it was like, wait, what is this? Is this The Witcher? Like live action trailer? Or wait, why is this character resembles from the Final Fantasy 15 Kingsglaive? Like this from the movie I'm talking about, like the character that looks like. And I was just so surprised the way it was actually Dying Light 2. I was like, man, this does not really look like Dying Light 2. But anyway, it's just a cinematic trailer, nothing to go on about. CROSSFIRE X is next up. It looks very, very good, and I actually hope it's gonna be a good story. And a lot of people said, at least, like I said, guys, I'm not experienced with CROSSFIRE game, and having a story for it now, hopefully it's gonna be good. Hopefully. Elden Ring was received anyway, got its cinematic trailer. It looks really good. Of course, we are talking about cinematic, but yet everything that has been resembled here, it's more of an Elden Ring, and I'm very, very much looking forward to it. Next, and I'm gonna be mentioning the last game. I'm talking about Matrix Awakens reveal trailer, and actually an opportunity as well to play a demo right now on your PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. So I've actually seen already snippets of the gameplay on a PS5 for this game, and it's more or less of a interactive experience, and also how it will perform on the Unreal Engine 5, and it looks very good. Now sure, there are issues and it's not really true gameplay, but I'm quite surprised at actually how far the technology is capable of going forward. That is pretty damn great. Well guys, that was all the games that at least piqued my interest from the Game Awards of 2021. Tell me down in the comments as well, what did you think of these games? Perhaps a few other games that I did not mention. And overall, the Game Awards in terms of its showcase, just the Game Awards itself, was actually more or less like 6 or 7 out of 10. The pacing was all over the place. Yeah, there are some issues, a lot of advertising, a lot of marketing stuff going on. It was not very welcome, of course. They need to reorganize it a little bit. I feel like the Game Awards maybe 2018, 2019 were far better in terms of pacing and few other elements. But this time, well, maybe it makes sense towards why Jeff Keighley actually needed to go with this approach. Since the Corona situation, and finally, it is actually a very, very good showcase, an event, mind you, happening every year. It is something to be looking forward to. Well, alright, tell me down in the comments, we'd love to hear it, we'd love to read it, and like and subscribe, see you guys all later, and again, have a good one.